Today we are learning more about the evidence federal prosecutors have against the Douglas man accused of burning down the border town's two most historic churches last week. Eric Ridenour was arrested the day after. News 4 Tucson's Chorus Nylander is live from the federal courthouse downtown with details. Chorus.
Hello, Sean. Federal prosecutors have video evidence and physical evidence tying Eric Ridenour to the crime. It's all detailed in this complaint filed here in federal court. And now church members in Douglas are just left wondering how and why somebody would do something like this.
Very sad that someone would do that, take a piece of history and sacred space and places in the community that try to do good.
Tonight, the motives remain unclear, but we are learning more about why federal investigators believe Eric Ridenour burned down the historic St. Stephen's Episcopal and First Presbyterian churches last week in Douglas. In this complaint filed in federal court, investigators say they found lighter fluid and remnants of lighters near a church altar. Surveillance video from a nearby daycare captured images of a man walking around the premises as smoke could be seen coming from one of the churches. The car that the man was driving traced back to Ridenour. ATF and FBI agents then, with a warrant, searched his home and found pants, a hat, and shoes matching what was worn by the man in the video, and they found traces of an accelerant on the clothes. While the motives haven't been determined, the complaint notes that the Presbyterian Church had made preparations to house asylum seekers for the end of Title 42.
Well, it's terribly sad to think that someone would do something so hateful. Law enforcement may not be able to prove that it was a hate crime, but it was a hateful act. And I feel sad, people clearly, but also sad for him that something would drive him to that.
Dr. Brad Monroe is a pastor and regional executive for Presbyterian pastors across the state. He's been helping in Douglas. An arrest, he says, doesn't stop the need his fellow people of faith are dealing with right now.
We're going to do whatever we can and bring whatever resources that are available to provide help not only to our own churches, but to each other.
And as for Ridenour, he's facing some serious charges in federal court. He's set to appear here for a court appearance in the federal court in downtown Tucson tomorrow morning. We'll be there and bring you the very latest. Sean?